Hello everybody and welcome back to the EcoPosh for You YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about using the Google Calendar to keep track of your live shows and also to help your audience and your shoppers keep track of your live shows. I realize that some of us use multiple platforms. Some of us are sellers on, for example, Whatnot. We do live shows there, and we also do live shows on Poshmark. And sometimes it can be a little confusing for people that like to watch our shows or that want to be in the shows to know what time and where we're going to be at. And so this is an easy way that I've found to help solve that problem. So what you guys are looking at right now is my Google Calendar that I have embedded into my website. Now, this is just a simple website, very basic. You can see that I've got just a home page. I've got my backseat painters. I've got links to all my stores, and then I've also got my live show schedule embedded here. And you can see I've got the Whatnot and the backseat painter show that I did, and you can see that basically people are able to click on it and it gives you the date, the time, and it gives them the ability to add it to their own calendar. It also gives them the link to the show, and then you can click for more details if you want to click on more details. And you can see the link there. You can also set notifications, all the good things that Google Calendar does, okay? So it's easier for me to just have my Google Calendar embedded on my website. Now, I realize not everybody has a website. You can also post a link to your Google Calendar in Linktree, and if you don't already have a Linktree and you haven't heard of Linktree, please check out my video about Linktree. I give you all the reasons why you should have one if you don't have a business website, and I also explain how easy it is to set one up and what you need to do. So be sure to check that out if you have any questions about that. But this is my Linktree, and you can see that I have all of my links posted here. There's my EcoPosh for You, a little bit of a bio, and then I've got my website, my Whatnot, and then at the bottom you can see all my socials like Instagram, Poshmark, YouTube, Twitter, and I think that's like Venmo or something. I don't remember which one. So there's pretty much links to everything here, and you also see show calendar for Posh and Whatnot. And I can click on that, and boom, it takes me to my Google Calendar. And it takes my shoppers to the Google Calendar. And you can see I've got scheduled Whatnot. I had a Whatnot show scheduled. I had a Poshmark show scheduled. So, like I said, it's really hard for people to keep track of if you're on different platforms. And you want to make it as easy for them as possible, because the easier it is for people to find out when you're selling, the more sales you're going to make. So that's one of the biggest arguments for doing this, basically. Now we're going to take a look at how easy it is to add your shows through Poshmark to your Google Calendar, okay? What you do is you click on the three dots, you go to Add to Calendar, you click Google Calendar. It takes you to the event editing screen for your Google Calendar where you can edit the event and you can edit the title. You can pretty much edit anything on the page, but most of it's filled in for you, so you're not going to really need to do this. I do have notifications set up for myself before I do each show, just because I need notifications for everything, like when I get up in the morning. Sometimes for certain things, like, when you have to hit snooze a bunch of times, that's kind of what these notifications are. So they're valuable for yourself and also for your shoppers that want to be notified that you're doing a show. And like I said, this is to help your sales, because how are you going to make sales if nobody knows where you are, what platform you're at, what time you're doing your show, what's going on, what is the show about? You know, are you selling clothes? Are you selling paintings? Are you selling plus size? Are you selling handmade? What are you doing today? And so this will give everybody that 411. So basically, you can also add, if you click the attach button here, you can also add any attachments of any pictures or flyers, anything like that. You can insert a link if you want, you know, people to look up further information, or for whatever reason, there's a lot of things you can do. So basically, you would just hit save, and it would take you right back to the Google Calendar, and bam, your event is scheduled. It's useful also for keeping up with time zones. I know I like to make flyers, and I know other people like to make flyers, or at least put in the description what time the show starts in other time zones, because time zones can get so crazy and we all live in different time zones. So that's another thing that the Google Calendar is really good for. Another thing that it's really good for is you can follow other people's Google Calendars. So, for example, I do have a personal Google Calendar where I keep track of doctor appointments, events, appointments, things that I'm doing that I need to go to. I feel like a lot of people use Google Calendar for that. That's how I, set reminders for myself to go to the appointments and do these things. So what you can do, what makes it so great, another great feature is people can actually add your calendar to their calendar, so that they get, they always know when your shows are on. It's really easy to do. You can follow on Google, you can follow as many calendars as you want. So you can follow a ton of calendars. I do follow one of my PFF, Teresa's calendar, and that always helps me know when she's doing shows. That way, if it's a share show and I'm going to be participating in that, I know the date and the time, and so I can make sure to have everything turned in on time. It also gives me the link to the show. That way I can advertise the show on my socials, and I have all the information about the show right there. And so it makes it really easy for me to share it out with everybody and post the link to it, find the link to it, go to it, go in there, set the price of my items. It's just really convenient to have it in there. I would highly recommend this for all sellers, just as a way to help keep track of everything, and more importantly, to make sure that your shoppers can find you, because when your shoppers can find you, your sales are going to be better, which is what we're trying to do here. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.